Hey guys, so I'm going to be just running kind of a little brief tutorial on basically how to spend your money in game. What I'm talking about is how to spend your real life money, so like all of these different packs that they offer, to maximize basically your benefit in game. So throughout the week, there are a couple different types of packages that will be going on offer. You can take a look up at the top right corner here, that little countdown. That's how long is left on each of these packs. Now, with these, a lot of the times the smaller packages are actually worth it. For instance, this one that's running right now, $5, might be pretty decent for some people, simply because you get 2,000 diamonds with that, but you also get the super recruit tickets, or you can choose building or research speed-ups. I would honestly never pick training speed-ups. You don't want to spend money on training stuff. You want to spend money on stuff that's actually long-term. What I mean by that is if you spend money on things that you need for buildings, things that you need for research, and these are long-term assets that will actually benefit your account. Whereas if you spend stuff on training boosts or anything like that, those troops die, and your asset, your 2 hours that you bought towards the 8 hours worth of training speed ups become worth nothing because those troops all die. But the 8 hours towards a building, that building will forever stay, and that will be helpful. So always use your money to buy ones that will actually last for a while. Okay, so this particular one, just taking a look at it really quick, you have 2,000 diamonds that you're getting for this from $5. Typically, the package is going to get you 20,000 diamonds for $100 in the US currency, which basically is going to mean that this one is actually worth it, because for $5, that's a significant. That's not. That would mean like it would be the equivalent of $50 for 20,000 diamonds. So in terms of the ratio of if this is worth it, this one is actually worth it for $5. You slide across one and you end up at the 40,000 package. This is a big limited time surprise. This comes around like once every 2 weeks or so. 40,000 diamonds. This is always going to be worth it. And then depending on your playing style, you might change the combination here. For me, if I'm going into a heavy battle weekend, I will buy this package with the advanced teleports, the marches, and the march accelerations. Reason being, just on this package alone, the march accelerations, that's worth 15,000 diamonds. The 25% march accelerations, each of those is worth another 600 diamonds, and then the advanced teleports are each worth 2,000. So you end up with about 80,000 diamonds worth of stuff. Now, if you're not into attacking, you might be more interested in one of these ones up here. If you're having troubles with getting gold heroes, then change that package to instead have the combination for super recruits and select that one. That one also gives a pretty decent amount of money as well. Or if you're having problems with getting your heroes up to the correct level, or opening up their attributes, like getting these ones up and not having enough wisdom, then buy this one with the wisdom. But again, I don't suggest that you get the training speed-ups. That is not going to be worth it. The research speed-ups are actually worth it. I got these a lot when I first started. The building speed-ups are worth it to some degree, but a lot of the time you'll actually just use diamonds for your building speed-ups. And then the energy cores, not really worth it. This will get you one level of a build of your energy plant, so not really worth it. So in terms of that, I'd recommend the super recruit, the wisdom medals, or the research, or the advanced teleports if you're attacking a lot. Then, in terms of other packages that are available, the biggest one that most frequent one that I actually bought was this one right here. The Clash of Zones Courage Medal one. This Courage Medal one, none of these other ones are actually worth it, but this Clash of Zones Courage Medal, the Courage Medals are what is actually useful for your zone commemoration. Your zone commemoration research gets you all of the extra bonuses and gets you some really big time rewards. If there's anything that will last the longest, it is getting that particular package and spending your money on that Courage Medal package. It does have a lot of money in it. It does also have decent fuel, decent lumber, okay iron, but that's also to incentivize you to buy more iron as well. So this package is the one that I actually bought the most so that I could get that Clash of Zones zone commemoration research done as quickly as possible. These other packages right now aren't worth it because there's the package that has the 40,000 diamonds in it. So none of these right now are actually worth buying since there's that other package available. Even this Wisdom Medal one is not worth buying right now because there's another Wisdom Medal one available back here. Right here that gives you more money and more diamonds. So basically always make sure you look at the front of the queue first because those ones are going to be the ones that are worth it. Now, the next packages that are going to be worth it are going to be ones that help your troops here. So if you take a look at my parts, I have a number of these orange parts and a gold part and some of these APCs. These parts you can purchase, and you can purchase those right here. Right here. So basically with this, you get two orange parts per package, which will help your APCs here. There's a Ranger one, a Phantom one, and a Dreadnought one. These come around every so often. They also get you a couple energy cores, or food, or money, but are actually worth it in terms of getting your APCs to be stronger. The point of that is basically so that when you were attacking, you're able to have some pretty big results in terms of your attacks, simply because the percentage that you're attacking with is going to be higher. I'll show you that percentage here in a second. But basically, to make sure that really when it comes down to it, your troops succeed, you need a really, really high... let's take a look at this attack right here. Okay, so what the parts do is they increase these attributes here. So if you look at this, my parts give 45% tactical might, 24% tactical resistance, and more health and everything like that. That's the difference between 87,000 and 627,000. That rolls through their APCs pretty easily, even when their APCs, are decently strong. So that's the difference between 100,000 versus 1,000,000 hit is just having all of those parts. So it's actually really worthwhile to get the orange parts from here as well. Now, as you're building, I'm sure you've noticed that, some of these get pretty expensive, right? You have 39 million ore through here, or if I didn't have enough capacity, I would actually have to up this. So let's just take a look at my building my iron warehouse up. 30,000 fuel. That one's not too bad. That one's not too bad. But all of these resources you have to have on hand, obviously. So with that as well, these packages alone are not actually going to give you enough of those resources. I mean, look, you're only going to be getting, 5 million lumber from that. You're only going to be getting, 7 million fuel. That's not going to be enough to do one of those big builds. So if you click on the resource tab up the very top, you can actually buy the individual packages. Now, these individual packages sometimes are not worth it. On weekends, these individual packages are never worth it. They have 35 million iron for $100 on here, whereas on Monday they will have 70 million iron for $100. So wait until Monday to actually buy a package like this, but don't do this on the weekend, because it will actually get you about half as much resources as you typically would get. There are some, same as this one, 9 million money. Typically this package is actually 16 million money, so hold off on this sale and don't buy this one yet. Same as this, sometimes they have 1 million for $5 on here, so you actually get 4 times less on this one than you typically would. So hold off on these resources until the end of the weekend, because on Monday those resource packs actually come around and actually have some pretty decent stuff in them. Right now they really don't have anything decent in them, so don't buy any of those strict resource packages unless you really have to. Now, most people wouldn't think about buying those strict resource packages, but it is necessary sometimes. I have a couple of these builds going right now, but just for example, if I were to look to upgrade this again, 77 million fuel is what's going to take to get that up. I only have 118 million. This package usually on the weekend is actually on Monday is actually 140 million fuel for $99. That would mean that this building would cost me $50 in real life to actually buy, but the goal is to not have to do that too frequently. But sometimes it's necessary to actually do it. So if you were a low spending account, let's just say you're not spending anything. There are a couple different tips and tricks that I like to use in terms of capitalizing on your resource amount. The first is making sure that you have your fuel consumption cut off so that you're not ever having to drop in this percentage right here. The reason for that is that will drop all of these rates and you just won't make anything on these accounts. And if you're playing for free, you really have to focus on making your own stuff as much as possible. The second one is going to be capitalizing on your farm accounts. If you are free to play, you need farm accounts. Even me spending initially while playing this game, I needed farm accounts to actually stop spending. So now I'm sitting here, I have all of these different farm accounts, and that's why I'm able to not spend as much money, because I have 12 farm accounts. Those 12 farm accounts each get me a couple million resources every single day. Effectively, for every third day, it's as if I'm saving $100 on every single resource, as if I was buying those packages. So that's kind of worth it, because you can save, but through typical gameplay, you could save effectively $600 a week if you would otherwise buy those packages. So for the free-to-play players, the biggest thing that you could do, or if you're just investing a small amount, is click on the benefits up here and take a look at some of these. So if you have this development recruit on here, you do have some pretty decent heroes sometimes that pop through here. They can be bought for a relatively small amount of money. So Enzo is probably one of the best heroes. Reason being, he has these skills that give 30% extra resistance and then decrease the cost of everything. That's pretty big time. Same as Oil Tycoon or that sort are actually, not Oil Tycoon, but some of these other heroes are actually pretty good. So in terms of that, occasionally they have these cumulative purchases which will get you more for your money. If you've noticed, I've bought 1,500 diamonds since this has started running. I'm not planning on spending anything else on this really. 8,000 diamonds, I would have to spend, a little bit of money to get that. To me, it's really not worth it that much. But one of the packages that is worth it, Arms Supply, is worth it for the solar power and the construction efficiency. And at the same time, these combination packages aren't really all that. You don't get that much from them. So at some point you can cut off that. I think this is my last day of having this actually. And then I have to decide if I'm going to re-up on it. Project Hero, as you can see, I don't have Project Hero running right now. I'm kind of having to decide if it is worth it again. But basically allows you to get one of these heroes, one of these gold recruit heroes after 30 days. Throughout the process, you do get 150 wisdom each week, which really is not that much. That's less than one upgrade for me now. And some of this other stuff each week. So initially, when you first start, this is actually worth the $24.99. And you can do this as many times as you want. So for some people, it might actually really be worth it. For me at this point, I already have all my heroes. I don't actually think it's worth it anymore. But this is probably, if you're going to buy any package, this is probably the package you want to buy. It will get you a gold hero guaranteed, and in all likelihood that will be kind of the boost you need to start unlocking more gold heroes, as well as it'll get you the super recruit tickets and everything like that to actually help punch you through on some of the events. So Project Hero is definitely worth buying. Even if you were classically free to play. Now, outside of that, there are some things that you should never buy. I would never, ever, ever buy any training speed ups. I would never buy any food. And I would never buy any water. Outside of that, fuel, if you're having, electricity, if you're having issues with your electricity, just simply use the helicopter for it. That'll probably be better for you because you can buy some pretty good electricity through there. But early game, if you don't have farms, you'll have to buy some money. You will always probably have to buy ore. That's one of the most difficult resources to come by. So in terms of all of this, just a very simple Spark notes of it all, I'd highly recommend buying recruit tickets initially, recruit tickets, wisdom, or research speed-ups, or if you're attacking a lot, advanced teleports and march speed-ups, if you're an advanced player. The courage medals, that is a big time package to buy simply because it helps you get the zone commemoration research. And when you get that zone commemoration research, your technology or your events go up significantly. You end up with big high scores like these two up top during events, which in turn actually give even more benefits, because if you look at the contribution rankings, you'll see like the top 3 players are the ones who get different rewards at the end of a week or end of a month that can also be beneficial. They'll also help rack up even more courage medals, 65,000 courage medals, 1,600 wisdom medals, and I haven't spent anything on these. They just start coming more organically. And with that, then I can update some of my other research that requires those wisdom medals and those courage medals and that sort of thing as well. So that zone commemoration or zone commemoration requires the courage medals, and that's one of the big ones. In terms of that, just shop the deals. Make sure you're not buying a package that gives you stuff that could be available in a better deal. And then if you are getting a little more advanced in terms of attacking, go on to the parts and select some of these parts. Make sure you do buy the correct package though. We've had a couple people who have bought the wrong package and then had to go back and buy the correct package and ended up with random parts. Just for instance, I have some random fighter parts in here that I did not mean to buy. So always check what you're buying. But that's basic tutorial on how to spend your money in game if you are spending money in game, so that you're not wasting it on troops that are expendable. Because like there's a guy in here that I hit. He spent all of his money on troops, very evidently. And really all that does is effectively just means that you just lose money really quickly. I think I attacked him 6 times. Yeah, that funny dude. So I attacked him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. I think for a total power reduction of 3.5 million power. Each time 250,000 troops is dying. And he spent all of his money on that instead of research. So basically, the difference is I spent it on research, he spent it on troops, and because of that, all of those troops are dying. All of these troops are dying. All of these troops are dying. And basically, just think that's money down the toilet. You could very well use that on something that will actually last in-game, and you won't get pissed off when you lose it. Because you're not going to lose your technology. You're not going to lose your building power and your technology power. So focus on those, and you can actually, spend less in-game, less frequently too. So any questions about any packages or anything like that, feel free to send through to me. And yeah, any questions, let me know.